Let's just go live.
Yeah, we're live. We're doing it. We're here.
Let's do it.
Welcome to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. Let me get my coffee out of the way. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I got my man John Murray here. It's about fucking time.
Yo, it's been a long time coming, man. This is. I was a little anxious coming up, but like at the same time, very excited.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Listen, it's really natural, bro. There's no pressure. You know, we're a small podcast, dude. We're still building.
Yeah, you actually, I think I was looking at your subscriber count and you're actually doing better than I am right now, which is, it's upsetting, but.
That's 4 years though, bro.
Yeah.
That's working. So like a lot of that was like working certain groups and shit, like YouTube groups. Yep. And then like people would do like sub for subs and shit like that. So it was like, you know, Bill, you can move that shit right out the way if you want. See your skateboard deck?
Yeah,
there?
Man. I was looking at the streams, and this first thing I'm noticing in the background is there's the board. I was like, oh, look.
Dude, I
there
told
it is.
you. I bought it, obviously, to support you and Raph, but to put it in the studio. You know what I mean? And when I get everything hung up and shit, it's going to look dope.
I owe you a bottle of scotch, I guess.
Nah, stop it, dude. So anyways, fucking you are a fitness blogger, travel enthusiast, a journalist. So how'd you get started? Like, what brought you into doing all of the blogging stuff?
So you want to know how it actually like began, like the first steps I took?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. So this is wild. I used to work at the YMCA in downtown Schenectady.
Sure.
And as a guy with ADHD, I got a million fucking ideas running through my head at any given time. I've had to catalog everything. It's that bad. But what I ended up doing was I had an idea for a website or a YouTube channel.
Sure.
And I went around the gym and I just asked people, what are you interested in? You know, what kind of topics under this niche would you be interested in? And from there, I just kind of spiraled into J. Murray Athletics, and I started covering things that I was already doing that people were interested in. And since then, I've just kind of
evolved a bit.
Yeah. It's like you were saying, we've been growing this over 4 years and everything, man. It's been the same thing. I had to learn SEO from nothing. I had to learn how to do video editing from nothing. VR's been a trick. Like I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of this curve, and then I had to learn how to edit videos in VR.
They were coming out good though.
Yeah.
Like when you were doing like the hotel rooms and the hikes and shit like that. Like that was super cool.
I thought the idea of doing like VR hiking videos was cool because like as you get older, like the limitations for actually going out and hiking become less and less, or your ability to do it is less and less.
Yeah, sure.
And I thought when you get old, you still want to see beautiful spots in nature. You still want to see these beautiful, whatever the world has to offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with VR, we're going to have an opportunity where people are going to be able to see these things, whether they can leave their house or not.
Right. And I think that was kind of the idea with like Meta and all of that shit in the metaverse. Like people I think it was twofold, but like same thing. The people that are getting elderly or getting to where they might be physically handicapped. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, you know? Absolutely.
And I mean, I think like with our channel, we're trying to get ahead of certain curves. It's difficult though. Like we're all ad revenue. So like everything I make is based on the clicks and the views.
Sure.
And
so now how did for somebody that's like looking to get into that shit, how does that evolve? Because like
you buy a domain.
Right.
Really, honestly, one of my favorite I guess he's an influencer. He'd call himself an entrepreneur, but Gary Vee, what's his number one thing? Just do it.
Just do it.
And I just did it. I mean, I bought a domain. I started designing the website with WordPress, and there wasn't a moment where I was like, what if this doesn't work out? It was just kind of like, this doesn't work out. It was fun. I learned something. I got a skill out of it.
Well, that's it though. What's cool about both of us is like we're doing this shit to have fun.
Right.
Like you're doing your blogging. It brings you actual joy to go out and do those things, you know.
I think a part of it is certainly joy. I also, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I tell people straight up, like, I want money.
Yeah.
I want money.
Of course.
But more, like, I have certain goals and that only money's gonna achieve. Like, I can't take care of my family without money. I can't take care of my friends. I can't give back to my community. And a big part of this has been a big push from that mentality is like, I need to return the favor to those who have invested in me.
Yeah.
And that's been my biggest driver, is waking up in the morning knowing that that is what I have to achieve.
Yeah. And now what's your frequency of content? So like, are you trying to do something like every single day, couple times a day?
Right now we post every single Monday.
Okay.
And then I have featured authors who I have on my website. Right now we have Tim Eid from Germany. He writes on karate. I have a gentleman named Jeremy Fernhurst from Kentucky who I'm trying to get doing event coverage soon. Hopefully, like, covering more fights from the Midwest.
Sure.
Me and Kristen have been posting news-related articles infrequently, depending on if we're at an event or not. Like, we just came back from Rolling Stoners 8. We did the live stream for that. So
Which is super cool that they're doing shit like that now, man. For anybody that's listening and doesn't know, but Rolling Stoners is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament.
Yep.
And it is centered around smoking pot.
Yeah. So my boys Fabio and Mario out in Connecticut put that together, inspired obviously off of High Rollers, which is a Western organization.
Sure.
Or not Western, but like Western United States organization. But back to the question. Sorry, ADHD brain.
Yeah, same, bro. Same. But yeah, so
post frequency.
Yeah.
So like we do news articles, but like we try to have like a regular Monday post. So even if we're not covering like an event, we're not covering anything like current or up like going on right now,
it's something coming out.
Exactly.
I kind of do the same thing with if I find like cool articles about ancient shit, or you know what I mean. I just I'll copy link, bro, send it to the page. You know what I mean? Just try to keep it flowing. And
you obviously want to keep it niche and keep it like too relevant to what you're posting. Like recently, I tried shifting Jay Murray Athletics away from myself. I realize a lot of people on my team are mentioning like the brand does not always represent, or the brand name does not always represent the team.
Sure.
So like I kind of took the step forward. Like at some point we might change the name. I'm not sure. We're playing with that idea, but I mean, I wanted it to reflect the team, so I took a step back and I was like, I'm gonna post on my own account. I'm not gonna post on the brand account anymore.
Yeah, sure.
And
I mean, it's cool too because you're really separating the brand.
Yep.
You know, and that's what I've tried to do with the podcast as well. Like I'll share my own shit and stuff like that, but I want this to be its own entity.
Yeah.
Its own monster, you know? And like we're talking about doing, like, obviously we have new camera setups and shit coming like that, and we're gonna be switching over to StreamYard. But we have like I'm trying to do like some network shit.
Right.
Like have different dudes come through and do different podcasts, do different shit, different clips, different, you know what I mean?
You want to be like the PBS of...
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. You know what I mean? And whatever we can cover, because we're pretty broad, man. We like the weird shit. You know, it's like either conspiracy or fucking Bigfoot, aliens. You know what I mean? Like,
well, last time you were talking, was it with Irv? You were talking Trump there.
Well, yes, because just the current events, man, and to me, and especially him, it's all set up. It's all game. It's all theater.
That's
you know
interesting.
What I mean?
So one of my bosses, you know, he's of the opinion that he thinks it was staged. I think Kristen ran it by me, and I think there's a possibility, but like, this shit still happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course.
I think it's easy for us to start developing all kinds of crazy ideas and putting motives behind people and things because we live in a safe environment.
Oh, sure.
So nothing exciting really happens in a safe environment. I mean, sure, you have a few things here and there. Yeah. But realistically, like, we don't live in a place like Afghanistan where bombs are going off.
Every day, right?
Well, I don't know about every day, but like, it's still crazy.
It's a war-torn country.
Yeah.
It's, you know, they have some history there.
Maybe even like Somalia would be a better example, or Haiti, but like, we're safe.
Yeah,
Like,
no
I
question.
feel like Americans like to create problems where there are no problems because like we live in such a safe environment.
Well, yeah, and then the mind runs wild, you know. So it's like my first impression of the attempted assassination was same thing. I'm kind of conspiracy minded, so it's like the dude got nipped in the ear. You know what I mean? The guy let off 8 shots. Like, it's just, to me, in a logic brain, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But like you said, and we mentioned it on that podcast, was that dudes wake up some days and are like, yo, I got a mission from God and I got to go do this shit. You know, it's not unheard of, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, people do stupid shit, but on the same note, it's like, what are the chances, though, that someone actually planned to have someone shoot at them? Like, what if that bullet missed and it actually hit him? You know, like it actually hit him in the head. So, like, there's so many layers to that. Like, it's almost implausible. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's tough though, because when you look at like the blatant Secret Service failures,
yeah,
you know what I mean. So like, it's either that dude had the best luck that day, or they had the worst day. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to it, we were talking about it on the episode we just did the other day that's going up tonight, is as soon as they're going to do a rally like that, there's a perimeter established.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like any real military organization or Secret Service, FBI, shit like that, they're always going to be setting up the perimeter, double checking everything, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. This dude managed to get a 20-foot fucking ladder inside the perimeter on a building that was visibly seen by other people. It was either the greatest blunder in Secret Service history, or maybe homie was not really allowed to walk through, but he wasn't exactly stopped either, you know? So, but that's twofold. It could be staged, or it could have been the Democrats just being like, fuck it, run it. You know what I mean?
I almost wonder if it's just human negligence.
Oh, human error. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like most situations. You ever seen that? There's a video online of some influencer. He's doing an interview with this random guy, and someone cuts right between them. And the guy he's interviewing, he says to him, "That was rude, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." He's like, "Does that not bother you?" He's like, "I never attribute malice to what could easily be
stupidity,
or no, just human error, human negligence.
Sure.
Like, we all have our own thing going on in our mind, and we all have our own world we're living in.
Yep.
And we often forget that like everyone around us is doing the same thing."
Yeah. Well, and you're right, because it's like everybody has their own perspective, and their reality's bringing them one way, this reality's bringing them another, and
I mean, and when it comes to police, one of the things that I think is like, you have a situation where you don't have these people accountable to anything
ever.
No.
Yeah.
And the only time they're accountable is when it makes media presence, like we have with the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Do you think there'd be an investigation if there wasn't media coverage?
No way.
So
of course not.
On the same note, like, I mean, wasn't a police officer notified of the guy with the rifle, and he didn't do anything or something? I heard something to that effect.
There was a couple instances. There was that, and then there was also trained snipers that were, I guess, with local law enforcement.
Yeah.
That allegedly had observed the guy, and went to go approach him in the crowd. So left their position and went to go try to obtain this guy or arrest him or do whatever they were going to do. And then while they were away from their post is when 8 shots rang off, and you know.
See, and just like you've all, I kind of blame the police. I think a lot of the, like, if I'm going back, I mean, I guess I look at a lot of situations like a police negligence.
Yeah.
It's like either they don't know the law, or they have a plan and they decide just they're not going to follow it.
What bothers me the most about any of that is a lot of them don't care to know the law. You know, so like these police officers that you run into, like traffic stops, shit like that, like I catch a lot of flack, John, for my stance on police, you know, and
believe me, I do too.
Oh, we could agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But a lot of these officers really don't even know like what they're enforcing. You know what I mean? Like, it's the craziest thing in the world, and especially when you know your rights and you catch them.
Yeah.
it's the craziest thing in the world because this dude is standing here. He's in a position of authority. He has a fucking gun. He is the determining factor of whether or not these charges are filed. There's a supporting deposition that lies. This man is, or woman is capable of frying someone for nothing.
Well, you're capable of ending their life. You're capable of ending their career. You're capable of ruining so many things. There's been so many incidences. I can think, here's a good example. In Columbus, Ohio, when an ATF agent went to collect a rifle from a Pakistani family who wasn't supposed to have one, the woman in the house called the police, claiming that there was a police, what do you call it, when they're faking the...
impersonator.
Yes, impersonator. And Columbus, Ohio police respond, and before the guy even has a chance to identify himself as an officer, the Columbus police have their guns drawn on this federal agent. They're screaming at him. He's telling them, like, I have my ID.
This was on video,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then later, like, the supervisor arrives. They find out he's an ATF agent. They had no Terry v. Ohio reasonable suspicion to, do any of this. They didn't even, all they had was a call. A call is not evidence.
Yeah.
And the cop reacted, and his supervisor defended the actions. And then they said to the guy at one point, like, I think you should be embarrassed if you're a police officer. If you come out guns blazing, you don't know the situation.
Yeah.
You're escalating. I don't care if you think there's a threat. You need to evaluate the situation when you approach.
Yeah.
And I think that there's no punishment when you don't.
Right. And that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits that police could use is more training. Further training, de-escalation techniques. Because...
Does training help if you're not... so one of the things people often say is education training. That's cool. That's great. But what about after the training? What makes them want to follow that training?
True.
Like if I tell my child, if I have a child, I don't, but if I did, and I told him, we don't do X, Y, or Z, right? But I don't reinforce that with any kind of
discipline or
a reward system or a punishment system, something to that effect. And you only reward people for their behavior. Like, you see all the time cops getting awards, but you never hear in the news about them being punished.
Yeah, well, you saw that they tried to block the fucking, I think Troy just did it not too long ago, where they were like making all of their disciplinary records public.
Yeah.
And like they fought that shit tooth and nail.
Why shouldn't you be public? You're a public official in a public capacity working for the public.
Yeah.
You are beholden to society. You decided to work a job that works for society.
Yeah.
Like, we have this in Schenectady. City Hall recently banned for filming inside City Hall, which is
you can't do that.
Yeah, it's a traditional public forum, but Gary McCarthy thinks that he can make whatever ordinance he wants. He superseded legislation. He didn't even ask him. He made an executive order.
See, but that I don't see that holding up very well as a constitutional right, because any public space, you know what I mean? I love when I go into these traffic court, and it's like, oh yeah, you can't film here. And you know what I mean? And it's like, well, no, actually I can. That's just a policy, bro. Yeah. That's your policy. That's not law. That's not.
What we see now is there's a bit of an issue where, with this ordinance, Long Island Audit, someone who I respect him as a journalist. I think he's one of the most upstanding auditors. I think there are bad auditors.
Absolutely. Well, there's confrontational dudes that aren't really. They're trying to make a spectacle out of it instead of actually auditing.
And there's also dudes who call the cops on themselves. All these different.
That's crazy.
It's dirty. But Long Island went to Schenectady, and he was arrested. He's actually, I think his trial's later this month.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And
he just beat Colony or some shit like a year ago or something like that.
So these people think they're above the law. And so what I read in the newspaper, I was following this case, or not a newspaper, I think he posted the court, one of the court documents, and one of the comments from the judge, Judge Frost or something, female, she had said, this court is not the place to determine constitutionality.
That's insane.
Yeah, well,
You're the first step.
The DA said you have to go to the city attorney. In what world do we live in where your constitutional rights are violated and you go to the city attorney, the person who approved that unconstitutional law, or told the mayor that that's okay to put through? Like, let's think about this rationally. Like, the courts determine whether something's constitutional or not. You go to appeals in a state court or a federal court if you think that your constitutional rights were violated and you want to fight the case even though you got a conviction.
Right.
Like, the court's exactly where you go. Like, what do you mean? So, like, we see even on a local level, and especially with magistrates where they have no law degree or experience, we see judges playing favorable to DAs, police, and their fellow political workers.
Well, just the tie between the three entities, the judges, the DAs, the police, going through my situation, man, it was like almost like I was railroaded, because for someone that had no criminal record ever, you know what I mean? Like, never been arrested in my adult life, they made it their mission, bro. Even though the cop was at fault, you know what I mean? They made it their mission to say, "Oh, you never been in trouble? Well, we want 5 years out of you because of what you did." You know what I mean?
They will work harder to convict you if you do something that offends them than if you actually had a crime committed against you. Like, someone could come up to you and stab you, and they'll work harder to convict you, find out where you live, find out all the information they can about you, quicker and harder than they will try to find that person who stabbed you.
Right. Oh yeah, no question. Yeah. So, like, with all that being said, what really sparked you joining the movement towards that? Like just making people knowledgeable of their rights, the laws, and the accountability that police should have.
So I was in criminal justice, actually. I wanted to be a cop. And while I was in college, and I was on my way to work one day, and I had a really bad limp. I had bailed off my skateboard, a big, huge gash in my leg, It was nasty.
Sure.
So I'm walking, if you know Western Gateway Bridge from Schenectady to Scotia, right by the lodge there where you visited. And I got pulled over in what is technically Rotterdam. It's not Schenectady. That bridge is weird. So it goes Schenectady, Rotterdam's a bridge, and then Scotia. I think there's a part of it. It's even Glenville.
That's fucking the bridge.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah. So I got pulled over by Schenectady PD for looking at them.
Stop it.
I'm not joking. Like, I saw a Schenectady cop car coming from Scotia as a criminal justice student who knows you're not supposed to be, like, over there unless you're
jurisdiction.
Right, unless you have, like, a reason. Like, you have to have a logical
reason, right?
I mean, at least on duty. I mean, they can theoretically stop you outside if they see you committing a crime or think you're committing a crime or what have you. But this was just one of those stop and give me your ID situations where he saw me looking and he's like,
which is illegal.
Yeah, well, he saw me looking. He's like, oh, he's looking. Okay, he must have warrants. Maybe he's worried about us. Let's go pull him over. He gave me a hard time about it. And it's like, and I gave him my SEC ID, not my state ID.
Sure.
And I kind of threw it on the ground. And I said, if you really want it that bad, you can pick it up.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm not. Like, I know my rights. I'm not playing this with you. I just want to get to work.
Yeah.
I know.
But that's the type of shit with these people.
Yeah.
But go ahead, continue.
Well, that lieutenant, the guy who pulled, or not, it wasn't the lieutenant initially. So it was two cop cars. I should be very specific here. I'm walking across the bridge going towards Scotia. They're coming the other direction. I look. I was like, okay, what's going on? Curious. The first lead car swoops around, like does a full 360. Mind you, I have PTSD from 7 years of domestic abuse. I'm messed up in the head. So cop swoops around, woo, no lights, no nothing, and slams on his brakes, and he's screaming out his window, give me your ID, give me your ID, give me your ID. It's like, no. I said, no, where's your supervisor? What is this? And he's a supervisor, pulls up right behind him, Lieutenant Mark McCracken. And Lieutenant McCracken starts making up all this BS, starts lying his ass off to me, telling me this, that, and the other.
Because he thinks you're stupid.
Yeah, he thinks I don't know my rights and stuff. And I don't remember what he said. I just remember it was bullshit.
Sure,
I mean, when you
sure.
hear enough bullshit from these people, it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. And that, you know, they're allowed to lie. There's a there's a
bro.
case law that literally that says they're allowed to lie in the course of their duty. And at no point, I mean, if you tell someone to lie, right, and they do it enough, you know, what becomes habit? Lying becomes habit.
Right.
And that's what this man does. And long story short, this guy got caught beating women in jail cells.
No way.
Yeah, he got fired. He got demoted to private or patrolman or whatever that one stripe.
Didn't lose his job though.
No, he got retirement.
Scumbag.
He got let go with retirement after being demoted, after being caught beating a woman in a jail cell and then forcing her to sign a document saying it happened before she was arrested.
Shut up.
That's falsifying a document, assault and battery, not to mention the fact that, like, that's like felony level criminal activity. It's Title 18, Section 242, deprivation of civil rights under color of law. That is punishable by death.
Yeah.
And the man got retirement.
Yep.
So when people say, like, you hate cops, no. Let's get this straight. I love the law.
Yeah.
I love the
But we all have to abide by it.
Well, yeah.
And the people that are supposed to be enforcing it.
Yeah.
This is one thing that really grinds my gears too. Is like these people are human beings.
Yes.
Homie wakes up, has a bad fucking day. Everyone else has to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, no, dude. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. The law is black and white. You know, there's no. The gray areas is where the case law comes in. You know what I mean? Like,
your anger becomes inexcusable when you have 5 other officers or 2 other or 1 other officer next to you. Not right now. But you know, you have someone next to you you can hand off authority to, and you choose to continue engaging in reckless behavior. Yeah. And police don't see it as reckless behavior because there's no like I go back to the punishment. There's no accountability. Like this officer McCracken, he got caught doing something wrong. He got called on it, and rather than being rightfully punished, he was given a demotion and a reward.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to this piece of shit Morrissey. I think his name was Morrissey. He was a CO at Rensselaer County Jail, and like while I was there, and then like shortly, like while I was there, he got caught fucking one of the inmates. Like, and mind you, this inmate was in there for fucking selling her kid to crack dealers, like to have sex with, like some straight federal crime. He's in there having sex with her, gets caught on camera. You know what I mean? They fucking basically charge him with, you know, I guess it's as equal to just like being a healthcare provider that touched someone. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It wasn't like the actual charge. I have to look it up, but he got to keep his pension. He got to keep fucking everything, and he did 0 jail time, like 2 years probation. Got to keep everything. And this is because you're not even a real sheriff. You're just part of the sheriff's office.
Yeah, but you're a deputy under the department to some caliber. They have arresting authority on some level.
Some level.
I think it's called a peace officer.
Yeah, it has to be some crazy shit going down in front of them for them to engage. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they got to call the cops too. You know?
I don't even think it's just the police system. It's the whole local government systems.
It's all of it, yeah.
Because what happens is, like I mentioned with the judges, the DAs, the mayor, they're all friends. Like, they see each other on a daily basis. Like, make no mistake, if you work in an environment with someone enough, you're going to become chummy with them.
Yeah, no question.
This is like, you don't pretend like you're not chummy with the front desk person at your job.
Listen, I see lawyers do it all the time.
Yeah.
Lawyers, like, you hire a lawyer, your lawyer's going to go in there, he's going to say, morning, judge, shake his hand, shake the fucking DA's hand. You know, it's insane, bro, because that's why, like, during my shit, like, it was kind of the same way. Like, for anybody listening, it's public information now, but I had quote assaulted a police officer.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the problem is he assaulted me first. And here's the fucked up part about it is I get charged with the crime. You know what I mean? And then essentially in order to have any shot at surviving this case and not doing 5 years to 7 years in prison, I had to go to trial. Otherwise they scare you into copping out. And it's like, oh yeah, well, if we take it to trial, we're giving you the max.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like
most police convictions are plea deals.
Yeah,
like
every single one of them, almost.
Well, it's like in the 90%, but it's I looked it up fairly recently. I believe it's 90%. They have a 90% conviction rate with somewhere in the 80 to 90% of that conviction rate being all plea deals.
All plea deals.
And so that essentially means they have an actual I think 10% chance of winning in trial.
Yeah, bro. And this is what's crazy is it's it's a layup for them.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody ever I get it. Trial.
All you have to do is play guard. They suck.
Trial was one of the scariest things in my life. To be 100% honest, I was scared to death. I never showed it. You know what I mean? Because I never wanted them to feel like they got me. I was like, no, fuck you, straight up, fuck you. But that shit's scary, bro. So when you committed a crime and they come to you and they say, look, you know what? Instead of 5 years, we'll give you 3.5. You know what I mean? You come home, you do 2, you come home on parole. It's like all of these people have families, have fucking jobs, have all of this other shit that's holding over them. And they said they do no work. As soon as you sign that paper, they do zero work.
Oh yeah. So I mean, my advice to anyone who has any run-in with the cops: learn your civil rights.
Yeah.
Learn your civil rights in advance. Do proper education. Go look up actual law. Talk to a lawyer. Talk to a criminal justice expert. Invoke your fifth. Don't say nothing if you don't have to say shit. And get a lawyer and go to trial, because chances are they're either not going to work for it because they don't want to.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of bums. Let's be real. And if you're smart, you'll probably just win just on basically shutting your mouth.
Yeah, shutting your mouth, dude. And not only that, but lawyers. Some of these paid lawyers are nasty. They're gonna fucking pick apart the search. They're gonna pick apart the stop. They're gonna pick every portion of that thing. Keep your mouth shut. Lawyer up.
I think most of the cases where I've seen someone screw themselves up, they're running their mouth. They're saying, "I'm gonna sue you. Fuck you." They're running. Yeah. They're making themselves seem like an asshole. Listen, I get angry too, but when a cop shows up, I'm the most respectful person, and it ain't because I'm a bitch. It's because I'm smart.
Yeah, right.
It's I understand how this game is played. I'm gonna play this game. I'm not in a fighting arena. I don't need to be loud. I'm not trying to bring in viewers. I'm trying to get home safe.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. And that's really where it should be. So it took me some time. Don't get it twisted. There's times where I still kind of lose my cool with these dudes because they play that whole let me lord it over you. I had a cop. I got pulled over recently, state trooper, Hoosick Street. I have a bad inspection on my truck, right? And homie comes up to the window and he immediately starts, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "None of your business." You know what I mean? It's just none of your business. And he's like, "Excuse me?" And I'm like, "I just said it was none of your business." He's like, "Where are you coming from?" I was like, "That's none of your business either." You know what I mean? I was like, "If you'd like to give me the ticket for the inspection, then give me the ticket." And he's like, "You want to start this over?" And that's the type of shit that drives me nuts, because it's like, wait, hold on a second. You want me to pull out your tiny dick now? And you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do.
And it's like, no, dude, no, absolutely not. You're a human being. I'm a human being. Do your job. Get my ticket. I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
I think they need to stop taking it personally when you don't want to answer their questions. Understand that some people are smart enough to just know that this is a trap.
Well,
it's not a formality. It's not you being nice. It's you trying to find information.
Yeah.
And anyone who's smart enough to know that is going to piss you off for some reason. And I don't understand why. But just leave it alone.
It's not even so much that they should leave it alone. There's a professional nature to your job. So when it comes down to it, you are to remain professional until a certain point. Emotion shouldn't be involved, right? So when I say it's none of your business, you get pissy, right? You get pissy, and now it's weird. He got so pissy, he gave my man in the back seat a seatbelt ticket. right? Like if my man didn't
that's
have a
just petty.
It was petty shit. You know what I mean?
And a lot of them think that a kind of level of behavior is acceptable, where they can retaliate against you because you don't want to play their game.
Well, I look at it as like, okay, dude. Well, I told my man I'll pay his ticket. I was like, it was worth it now for me to tell you to fuck off. You know what I mean? Like straight up. Like now you were. Like, you didn't have to do all that by just me telling you, mind your fucking business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you just gave my man a ticket because I hurt your feelings.
Well,
like,
yeah,
your feelings were hurt.
That's
you know?
manipulative, too, because what he's trying to do there is he's trying to get your friend pissed off at you for you exercising your rights. Again, that's a form of deprivation of civil rights under color of law. He's trying to use someone else's opinion of you to affect your life and your situation by going after someone you know. And that's really not what our country was founded on. It's not the principles of our nation. I think if our founding fathers found out that our government was allowing that kind of behavior to happen, they'd start a whole new revolution.
Yes, absolutely. I just think the problem is it goes so far up now. You know, so like back when our founding fathers were about it. They were like, no, fuck this. This is freedom shit. You know what I mean? Now our government is so about subserviency, like, you know, eat your McDonald's, eat your fucking, like, just stay in your lane, be obese, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want you thinking, we don't want you pushing back, and it carries right up, man, right through the courts, right through the fucking. Again,
it's one of those things, like, I think it's human negligence. I do think a lot of it goes to their head, like, no accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think that the mayor wakes up in the morning and he's like, I'm gonna fuck over Schenectady today.
Yeah, I don't think that either.
I think he woke up one day, he said, you know what? Fuck these auditors, fuck these guys who keep coming in and exposing the problems in my city. I'm just gonna ban you from City Hall. Problem solved. Not realizing or not putting into account.
So were they trespassed or banned?
He was arrested.
Damn.
He was arrested. I mean, now you got New York State, like, bail reform, so he's out the day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
But the point is, a journalist was arrested in a traditional public forum for walking around with a camera asking City Hall officials basic questions.
And really, what does he do? That's all he does.
That's all he did. And if you answer the questions with sincerity and honesty and friendliness, he walks away because there's no content.
And not only that, but like that dude, I really appreciate that guy in particular. Actually, here you go, sir.
Appreciate.
I really appreciate the Long Island auditor too, because when they are nice and they are cool and they are fucking.
Is that the ashtray?
Yeah. It's a fucking big ass table.
It's all good.
When they do well. Like when they are receptive and they say, okay, yeah, absolutely, let's get the information you need. How can I help you? You know what I mean? Instead of being like, hey, you can't record here. He gives them a really super cool review. And he says, hey, this courthouse, yo, they were fucking dope. You know what I mean?
And
like,
there's times where I'm watching that and I see those videos, and like, as someone who's critical of police, it warms my heart.
Sure.
And like, not even like kind of like a regular level, like as on a patriotic level, like it really makes me happy to see that, because you don't see the interpersonal skills that you should with this level of or this career path.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and being an auditor is hard. You know what I mean? Because like it obviously just came out of obscurity. I'm sure that people have been doing it for a long time, but now because of YouTube and social media and everything else, it's kind of on Front Street. Because I know when my algorithm gets going on the audits, bro, it's there. You know, but
what's the first audit you remember?
It had to be Long Island audit.
Really?
Yeah, because other than myself, like I don't want to lie and say that I was doing it out of the knowledge of that. You know what I mean? I knew my rights, but at the same time, like I was kind of ignorant in the beginning because I was like, fuck these dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's after it started really hitting the internet and hitting Facebook, it had to be Long Island audit, and like an official audit. You know what I mean? Like
do you remember Uber Lawyer?
Uber lawyer? No, I don't.
This is like early days of Uber, and it was like one of the earliest, like, it wasn't an official audit, but it's like one of the earliest videos I can recall of like someone recording the police. And this is like right before it became very normal.
Popular, yeah.
Yeah. It was this guy who worked at a courthouse, and he Ubered on the side. And
oh shit.
Some guy got arrested or detained out of his car, and the cops were giving him a hard time. And the one officer says to him, he says to him, what is it?
I'm gonna trade that out, actually.
You're good. I'm trying to think. Something to like the effect of like, it's illegal to film. And he's like, he argues with the guy, and eventually like it comes up that he's a lawyer. And he's like, oh yeah, a lawyer that drives for Uber. Apparently he was paying for his college loans or something. This is a young
So
kid
he was
still.
talking shit.
Yeah, he's pretty much talking shit. And then finds out he works at the courthouse that this guy is going to try and charge him at.
Stop it.
Yeah. And it's like, and then like finally the supervisor comes over, and it de-escalates, but like, why this has been going on for years. Like, can you, Long Island Audit did a video in Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh man, that was a big deal though, right?
Well,
that one?
The cop said...
He was like going to state level type shit?
He had a few incidences in Connecticut, but the one I'm thinking of, like a supervisor or like a senior officer, someone who'd been there for like a long time.
Sure.
Says to him, 10 years ago you'd be missing your teeth, and 20 years ago you'd be missing. And if that doesn't send off red flags for anyone who like investigates, like that man should be investigated for murder. Yeah, because he's essentially admitting that in his line of work, either himself or someone he knows has hurt someone for their civil rights or killed someone over them.
Yeah.
And that's what he's implying, and that's what he said in his own words. And no one on the federal level cares. Yeah. No one on the state level cares.
But I think that's the biggest issue. And that's why I said with these audits, it's tough because who is like, sure, you might get, Long Island, they might pay the dude. He's going to get his lawsuit, his settlement, all of that shit. But at the same time, what really changes? Because if the feds don't give a fuck that this is happening on a state level, that the constitutional rights are being...
it's up to people like me, and this is why I'm an advocate, and I think it's why you're an advocate, but it's up to people like the viewers, or people like me and you to speak and be vocal. It's one thing to get up in a rally, in a riot or a protest and march down the street, but no one knows what your actual opinion is. You are an individual, you have a unique opinion opposed from an organization or a group.
Sure.
You're bigger than Black Lives Matter, you're bigger than anti-cop or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you see something in your town and your video shows up, why aren't you at City Hall?
Yeah.
Why aren't you writing down complaints? Why aren't you emailing people? Why aren't you not voting for these people and demanding some kind of change? You are only as powerful as you make yourself, I think.
Yeah, well, there's a certain fear associated with stepping out of the proverbial line. You know what I mean? Because essentially so we catch a lot of shit, right? So like a lot of people might look at us as the type of people that are like, no, they're just blah, 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 blah. No, look, I would rather live on my feet than die on my knees. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And most people, I'm not even listening when they're saying, yo, Edwin, like, tone it down. You know what I mean? Like, tone it, because I have people that go that route. But at the same time, it's like, what are we doing here? Are we going to be an American? Are we going to make change? Are we going to be an advocate for change? Or I'm not going to be 50 years old, 60 years old, or on my deathbed knowing that I just stood by there and didn't I didn't say something, I didn't bring attention to it. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, for sure.
But that fear is what holds people back. You know what I mean? Once people start looking at them weird, bro.
I get it. I do. Because, like, as a kid, I was a weirdo. So, like, but, you always have that wanting to fit in.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, I just stopped giving a fuck.
I never gave a fuck, right?
I mean, I can't pretend like there's not times where I care. There's obviously times where I care.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm much more selective with who I give a fuck about their opinion. And if I think someone, like, I've had people I respect criticize my opinion on cops.
Yeah.
But I back it up by statistical fact. I back it up by my level of patriotism and my love for the Constitution and having principle.
Yeah.
You know,
they don't always take it from there, though. That's the thing. Is just like,
well, sometimes you have to sit someone down and just be like, listen, man, I love you, and you gotta, you know, if you love me, you're gonna take some time to understand why this means so much to me.
Yeah, for sure. And
like,
why it should mean so much to you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't think everything has to be taken with, animosity, maybe?
Sure.
Like, you don't have to address everything with a level of aggression.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people just need to be, like, sat down and be like, listen, man, like, I don't hate cops.
Yeah.
I love this country. And if I love this country, I love the Constitution. And then therefore, I have to stand on those principles and I have to speak up. And that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you have an issue with that, maybe you have to question your own morals and principles.
Right. And I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We live in a society where that brainwashing is there and it's like full on. You know what I mean? So what sucks is like having those people that are like, well, no, absolutely not. You can't back the blue. You know what I mean?
If you can sit there and watch your fellow American, your fellow brother, your fellow sister, you know, get shot in the head,
get fucking
beaten,
choked out,
while they're not resisting, while they're not doing anything wrong, then there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong.
You know, and that's point in case. Like, these are whether you see it this way or not, this is your family. This is our ship. This is our ship together, everyone, you know?
Yeah.
You know, no one's jumping ship, unfortunately. When shit hits the wall, we're all going to feel it.
So what do you think it's going to take? Like, I know this is kind of like a broad question, but what do you think it's going to take to get more people open-minded enough to really change things? Because, like, let's be real here. During, like, the Black Lives Matter thing and, like, the George Floyd thing, like, there were cops that were, like, really outing themselves as blatant racists, blatant, you know what I mean? Like, just like, oh, I'm never going to be a cop again. They quit. There were certain departments that had zero police, you know what I mean? Because of, like, the laws. What do you think takes to change the system? What do you think takes it?
The first thing is we need to come together. When you say Black Lives Matter, right? I think separation. I think segregation.
Sure.
I don't see the cop issue as a black and white issue.
Oh.
When I look at it, to me it's a hold on. So it's an American issue, right? So first we need to, like, stomp that out and get everyone together.
Yeah, sure.
That's the first step. The second step is holding bad actors accountable. When we see something bad, whether they're our friend, whether they're our colleague, whether, you know, there's some guy we just know on the street, or they associate with the same political party, you need to swallow your pride and be like, we need to take responsibility as a group. We need to address this problem, and we need to solve it professionally. That does not mean hiding things under the carpet, saying, well, it's an investigation, so the body camera's hidden, or doctoring an investigation, sure. You know, these petty things. If we can get that going, I think there could be change.
Sure.
I don't think the police are going to wake up one day and be like, I've been part of the problem.
No, I don't think so either.
I think that they're going to need a spanking, like any bad child.
Right.
I think that's going to be the wake-up call.
Do you think that defunding kind of did that?
I don't think defunding the police helped. I don't agree with that. It's not an issue of their funding. It's not an issue of their training. I mean, their quotas still exist. They they do these things where they arrest more people, they get more arrests, or they get more tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can apply to the federal government for grants and loans, and that's how they get excess money next year. So, like, that's why that quota still actually exists. They're just not on the official record. But back to the funding, and I mean, money's irrelevant. I mean, if Schenectady allocates certain amount of money, they think that's what the city police department needs, and it's got enough police officers to field each neighborhood,
division, whatever,
and, the jail and all that stuff, then we're good. That's perfect. I want people to get their share. Maybe 6 figures is a bit much.
Right.
I think police should make about the average median income for their town.
I'd keep it community based.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, so I think like Rotterdam should make the average median for Rotterdam, Schenectady the average median. I think that's a fair shake, but I don't think taking away the money is going to help anything.
Yeah.
I don't think more education helps because we already have in New York State, it's 2 years, and New York City is 4 years. New York City still has cops walking up to random people on the street heckling them like children.
Listen, I was just in New York City, and it was wild, bro, because we saw some cops try to like take one of the city bikes away from some kids, and those kids were like, fuck you, and ended up with the bike, and it was like, yeah, we're out of here. But they were like just engaging them in a childish manner,
yeah,
instead of being like, yo, either you're breaking the law, get the fuck out of here, you know what I mean, go the fuck home, you know what I mean, or like
they've also see, I don't want to defend them, but like New York City in particularly has been
mobbed,
grabbed by the balls.
It's mobbed, bro.
It's not only just the immigrant situation, which has made it bad enough, but the bail reform thing with the already existing criminal element in New York City.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk about the immigrants because I'm not trying to like.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. But I was talking about just the sheer amount of fucking people, dude.
Well, they doubled it now, and it's so it's an overload on their department. They cut their funding, and you've crippled them by saying like anyone they arrest is just out the next day.
Yeah.
So like
they're arrested.
What are they going to do?
3-4 times a fucking week. You know
I mean, I don't blame them for not wanting to do anything because in that situation, you've grabbed them by the balls.
Right.
So there's a balance,
sure.
Not to quote Thanos. I don't want to make half the world disappear, but there is a balance in the world that needs to be respected.
Right.
And I think our founding fathers knew that. Like if you think back to when they wrote the Constitution, they fought. What was the determining factor that made them agree? Was the understanding that there's a little bit of a balance here. As long as we can respect each other and we can appreciate the fact that we both want similar things, we both want liberty, we both want life, we both want freedom.
We both want to grow and prosper.
Yeah.
Right, sure.
I think, we've lost that sentiment. We've lost a lot of our principles as a nation.
Yeah, and I think, and that's a big part of the problem as well, is that I think we've just become so complacent with just going with the flow, because in reality, it's like when you look at it, it's how many people are really worried in their day-to-day, getting up, going to get the kids ready for school, shit, I gotta plan dinner now, and then I gotta go to work, you know what I mean? Like, how many people really want to put forth the effort into going out there and writing the city, writing the police, writing the, you know what I mean? Like doing, it's hard. You know what I mean?
I think if there's something you care about though, you'll make time. You'll make time for it.
Yeah, you'll do it.
I think maybe some people take the time for it and they put it into the wrong things. I think there's a large number of people who would rather protest than show up at City Hall and write a formal complaint about a law that was passed.
This is another problem with humans: is they just want the action. They don't want to do the fucking the civil shit. You need that drama attached to it.
I don't know. I also don't think people realize that's an option because no one discusses it.
Yeah, they don't push that narrative though. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, no, again, it's the fast paced, get up, go to work, grab your Dunkin', you know what I mean?
Well, it's interesting you say that because I had a conservative stepfather growing up, right? And I watched him work extra hours, overtime all the time, especially on like holidays. He'd come home late right before the dinner and the opening of the presents on Christmas.
Right, yeah.
But he was also very political. And
sure.
he listened to his radio all the time. And moreover, though, he would write to his congressman. Now, I think looking back on some of his views, some of them were a little crazy. A little bit more right-leaning than I would like. But in his later years, he's kind of calmed down, but he was active.
Yeah.
He got up and was active. People might call him a little crazy, but where the fuck are you?
Yeah, but that's what the balance you're talking about is the constituents are so different.
Yep.
That these Congress people and these representatives, and they need to hear all of these perspectives.
Yep.
How many letters do you think actually get through to like an actual congressperson?
So I can actually answer this kind of. I interned for the New York State Assembly, not directly, specifically for a specific office. I'm not going to name it.
Sure.
But when I was there, we had a thing, I think it was called CRM. And we would get calls, and anytime we got a call, we would have to log your concern, whatever you thought about a bill or anything like that. Even if you wrote in, we would log this. So I can't say that this individual, this person in the assembly went and read these, but I knew that I had the job of specifically logging these things.
Right.
It was specifically stated to me that when this happens, you do this. This is not, debatable. You do this.
So do you think that like maybe that was part of a system that ended up there? Like, so it, like, you know how you kind of get like a statistic-based system?
I like to think this individual would read those.
Right.
There are people like my girlfriend's father who ran for the assembly and won, and he did some extreme things. He mowed Thatcher's Park with his personal mower because they wouldn't pass the budget. And
for Thatcher or just the budget?
For Thatcher, like the park, the recreational area, he mowed it himself because he was pissed that the budget wouldn't get through. People called it a publicity stunt. My girlfriend swears to this day he was just pissed off.
Listen.
So, like, there are good politicians out there, and there are people who listen, but no one speaks up.
Well, I think the thing about it is we have to get these ticks that have been in these places, the career politicians, out. When we had guys that were like, or people just in general that were coming from different areas of society, like you had the farmers, you had the bankers, you had the whatever your role in society was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You came back in together and then delegated and started doing what you were going to do. Now we have these guys that have been in there for, look at Joe Biden himself, is like something like 70 years or something like that. He's been in the government. You know what I mean?
Well, it's again, we as the people have allowed it to become a career.
I could be wrong. Not 70. Maybe it's like 60 or some shit. I can't remember. But
when you go to vote, you know who your representative is beforehand. I mean, I would assume at least you would have an idea of their name.
Right.
You've probably heard it a couple times at least. So when someone goes to vote and you check that box with a guy who's been in there for years, and meanwhile you're complaining that there's a problem in the government and no one gives a fuck or no one cares, why are you voting for the same guy every time?
Same guy.
Why are you checking the same box?
Yeah.
Why aren't you? And then for people who say there's only two parties. There's the Green Party and there's the Libertarian Party. Start voting for them if you don't like the main two.
Not only that, bro, but there's like Congress people and representatives that run unopposed.
Oh yeah, AOC.
Like,
AOC. 90% of her backers are not from her district.
There's like nobody else running against them.
I'm botching that statistic, by the way.
Yeah, dude, listen, man. Eventually, when I get cooler and getting better, we'll get a producer and shit. we'll be fact checking shit.
Young McKinney.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him locked in, man. He's like I said, he gets busy.
Well, maybe I'm down.
Let me know, man.
I mean, I got the streaming thing going. I'll help you out.
Listen, bro, you let me know, man, because like I need all the help I can get, and I'm really trying to take this thing to another level. And consistency is where I'm trying to.
You got to put it in the schedule, man. So for my productivity, I got ADHD, like we mentioned earlier, right? I got a calendar above my laptop. I got a calendar below my laptop. And I got two like to-go calendars so I can write things on the go, have it on the go. Then not only this, so like I have like a list of things, ideas, just random ideas, things that have come into my head in a list of to-dos. So like whether I get to them or not is irrelevant.
Right.
But like I have 1,000,001 things that I can do at any given time and just keep staying productive.
I might have to try that, bro, because like I'm kind of the same way. If I don't like lock it in and do it like right now.
Like when you ask me for a time and I'm like, I don't know, here's my schedule, just pick a time,
right.
you know, like it makes things easier.
It does make things easier for sure, because like we've been looking forward to doing this for a minute, you know, and it was like finally I was like, yo, all right, what's the day? Boom. Locked it in. And
what I would almost recommend is like start with either a month or like every 2 weeks and just like lock in a specific day. And even if you can't get someone else on the show, run it.
Yeah, I've been considering it, bro. To be honest, because like,
that's what you got to do. I mean, you got like just do it.
Yeah. No,
Gary V.
Yeah. It's crazy because that's exactly what it is. And like for the longest time, I don't want to say I was finding excuses, but I wasn't finding motivating factors to do it. You know what I mean? Like I was having real issues in the beginning with like sound. Like switching to video, like all of it was like fucking.
I feel you. Like I had with the streaming, we had a hook and a commentator.
A what?
So for the last stream for Rolling Stoners.
Somebody commentating.
Someone was commentating, and a fun fact for you: this guy turned out to also be a Mason. Had no idea.
No kidding.
Right? He said something about my ring afterwards. I was like, oh, small world. But no, with the situation, I had no idea how to hook him in. No idea. Never had the mic set up like we got here.
Sure.
I would have no idea how to hook this into my computer. I was so
yeah,
I knew what to do.
Yeah.
We actually did figure out a setup. So I'm gonna bring another laptop. You know, have the mics hook up through that, and they're gonna have a camera facing them, so they'll constantly be in the stream in the future.
Yes, yeah, that's perfect. You
right?
know, so yeah, absolutely. It's those learning curves though.
Absolutely.
That is like it's weird, but it's fun in the process because I want to talk shit so bad with my friends that like that's why we're here. You know, and it's cool because I actually figured this out with the camera and the Zoom fucking a Facebook group, man. I swear to God, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. The whole time I'm thinking like, fuck me, dude. How do I get the audio and the video lined up? And I'm like, nah, dude, I ain't even doing all this.
You want to know my secret to success?
What is it?
YouTube.
Yeah, that's where I find a lot of information. Is YouTube.
It's an encyclopedia of everything, man.
Yeah.
Like, you just gotta find reliable sources, but like it's man, shit. People who make fun of people for learning shit on YouTube, you stupid.
Yeah, no, dude, you can learn anything on there.
Like I built a business off this. Like I just gotta open up a store.
Yeah, I was trying to. Is it like what's going on? Did you get it fixed? Because like I was trying to order some shorts.
Yeah. So first I had it on test. Did not realize that. Should have checked all that stuff. This is the learning curve. Then Printify had an issue connecting to my website. So like I could upload all the products.
Right.
Couldn't get the products to orders to go over back to Printify to get them manufactured to get shipped out.
Right.
So there was a connection issue, and then I was having an issue with the support team from Printify, and it actually took me threatening to cancel my account and delete everything for them to be like, oh, whoa, we got you. What
was the issue?
I'm not sure. I had to disconnect everything and then reconnect it, and somehow it worked. I don't know. So,
that's weird. But either way,
I don't do code.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like we got it connected and somehow it's working. I got a test order coming. It's gonna be delivered on the 30th.
Nice. So is it live now or is it okay?
Yep.
Cool.
jmurrayathletics.com/store.
Hell yeah. Yeah, when you sent me the link, man, I was like, let me go check it out. And I was like, I tried to buy one of the pairs of shorts.
Right.
And it was for some reason it was just like, I think you said it was in the test mode, so
yeah,
I couldn't add it to a cart or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that was when I first sent it out then.
Yeah, because that's what it was. Is it was showing me that I could like test a fucking card or something like that.
Oh, okay, yep.
And I was like, I was like, nah.
This is sketch.
I was like, we'll talk about this later, you know. But
I wish you would have said something so I knew sooner. I had no idea for I think a couple of days.
dude, I should have hit you up about it, but I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, and I'm so busy myself, so like it's impulse for me. So
Yep.
like when you sent me the link, I was like, boom, let me go order something real fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
And then I couldn't. And then I was like, all right, dude, on to the next thing. You know, it's
Have you seen it recently? We got a bunch of good shit.
No, I haven't.
So I started a legacy collection inspired off of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and kind of its journey. I put like a Japanese flag on there, you know, the Brazilian flag, and obviously got to put an American flag
Right,
on there,
of course.
Patriot and shit. But and so I put that on like all the different legacy stuff, and I think it came out looking pretty cool. I got some joggers, a nice hoodie. That's what I
Nice.
actually ordered for the test.
Hell
I can't
yeah.
wait.
So did you pick out like the actual joggers and shit like that, or is it like you go through?
Yeah, it's so you have like you have some options, but it's kind of limited in some ways.
Yeah.
I wish there was like jiu-jitsu rash guards or like gis and stuff because I want to make some custom ones.
Right.
I'm actually thinking of making something Masonic inspired. You know, maybe with the
Do it.
yeah.
Do
I
it.
was-
You'd have, you know what I mean? For
Well, it's all,
anyone.
I was saying to my coach the other day, he like kind of laughed at the idea. I said, "Well, it's all geometry, my man.
Yeah. Fucking triangle.
Yeah, man, triangles everything.
Yeah.
You ever
The
seen that
fuck?
meme?
Yeah.
Triangles are everything."
Yeah. No, but it's really cool, man, to see your development as well, because it pushes me. You know what I mean? Like I want to go. Like it motivates me. No bullshit. Like when you're pushing your shit, and I'm like, nah, dude, I got to catch up. Like
I appreciate that, my
I got to
man.
catch up. You know. Like
I mean, you're not doing too bad. You got more subscribers than me right now.
I need consistency. That's what my thing is.
You got this, man. You just got to organize.
That's exactly what I
Just start writing shit down. Start organizing.
Yeah. Well, it's been getting better. You know what I mean? And that's like I've got a couple episodes locked in right now already. That's like I'm putting one up tonight, and then ours will go up probably next week.
And don't be too envious of me. Right now, like realistically, like we're still in the startup phase.
Dude.
Like I'm 5'6". Hold on. Wait, let me
Listen,
check.
first of all, I'm never envious, but like I said, it's inspiring because I'm like, oh, look at my man. You know what I mean? And then the others do.
We're not doing that great. Like, hold on. Let's see how many years we've been in. I'm waiting for this shit to load. You're right. The signal is bad here. All right, hold on. What was the first year? Our first year was. What was he gonna tell me? Oh, 2018.
2018. All right, so like I started in 2020, but you got to figure I got 41 episodes. This is 42 in 4 years.
But that's still not bad.
No, it's
You-
not. It's not terrible, but at the same, but you said it earlier, man, and I apologize to any of the viewers for like all the shit content that we put out before. But at the same time, it's that evolution. You know what I mean?
I mean, shit. It's part of the journey. It's the fun part.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many episodes I never released.
I mean, honestly, once I have my yacht and shit, like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's gonna
whatever.
get boring.
Yeah, for real. We're gonna have to run it back on the yacht, though, for sure.
Yo, man, listen, goals. 100%. I'm gonna have my yacht one day.
Yeah,
I don't
get
know
it.
how I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna get it.
You gotta envision it, bro. Manifest that shit. Yeah, for real.
Shit.
You know.
I'm dreaming.
Yeah. So, but how's the website doing? So, is it like
It's peak. It's
Yeah.
peak, but it's not where I want it to be.
Of course.
Our goal, realistically, I want to hit like 100,000 views a month.
Right.
I'm skimming 1,000 right now,
Okay.
but comparably to like the previous year, I think I was hitting like 200 a month. And
But
then,
that's the growth.
yeah,
that's the
well,
growth.
I mean, it's been
How do you
learned.
drive traffic?
I had to learn SEO,
So.
search engine optimization. So you
Okay.
need to learn how Google works and how Google thinks. But moreover, you also need to learn and think how your consumer thinks.
Right. Because that's
And-
how they're punching it into Google.
And that's the hard part. So like Google's the easy part. I understand Google's straightforward. I also think people overthink SEO. There's a lot of over focus on keywords and certain things. I've heard when the Google update happened, a lot of people's websites started tanking.
Really?
So yeah, because like a lot of people were just producing like general AI content or generic stuff, and what ended up happening was their websites were hurt as an effect.
Right.
I just put out stuff that I like. Anything that I think of, any questions I have, things that I'm interested in, and that works.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I did that has my website hitting peak this year while other people are hitting like rock bottoms, quitting altogether.
Well, we know why, because again, you're finding your following. Like that's the thing is like we're not looking for like I would love every viewer. I would love every follower. No, I'm looking for my people out here, like with the people that enjoy the same shit that we do. You know?
I feel that.
But it makes it fun.
Yeah.
Like, just like you said, you're posting shit you like. These people that are fucking with your shit, driving that traffic, they fuck with you, bro. Like that's what it is.
You know what's crazy is like, so I was talking to one of the commentators for Cage Wars local, MMA event. And he was telling me, there's no one else in the area doing the MMA coverage, or there's no one doing the stuff that you're doing right now. We really support it, and I was just kind of taken back by it because I was like, is that really that valuable? Like, I just started doing the coverage for the hell of it, to kind of get into events, and then I realized how valuable it was to people, and I was like, oh shit, I need to do more of this.
Well, and you do a lot of video too, so like you're doing every match, you're doing you're getting great footage. So like these people I guess it's great for them because they can check their film, they can go back on it, and then now they can promote their shit. Well, one of the things that we kind of try to do on J. Murray Athletics is like I've been reaching out to different promotions and just kind of telling them like, listen, I do event coverage. Like we charge for the travel, but like, and just get us press passes, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. But like we come in, we'll do a pre-promotional article. We'll get you like some event coverage beforehand, let people know what's up. What's really cool about that is like, if you subscribe to us, our newsletter. Like I only share news articles in the newsletter. Right. So like MMA events that are upcoming show up in that newsletter. Oh, nice. So if you like MMA, you like sports or anything like that, you're getting that promotion. If someone hits us up for that pre-event article, you're getting notified about that. So you could be like, I want to go see an MMA event here and blah blah blah. Where XYZ, what's good. You could check your email and boom, there it is. Yeah. I mean, that's the goal. Well, I think what's really cool for you too is you're so passionate about it. So like when you're stepping to these promoters and they're not seeing anybody else out here doing this shit, they're like, oh, this kid's here just because he wants to be here to do this. And he's giving, the proper shit.
I mean, I just kind of want to support the community. Selflessly a little bit. I mean, like obviously I need to make something back to kind of keep doing this.
Yeah, of course. It's not free.
But I mean, I've been doing Rolling Stoners for free for the last 8 events, like just writing articles on them for them and just kind of promoting them. And I've been trying to tell people, just send me shit, I'll write it. Yeah. All you have to do is give me details. Right. And some people really appreciate it. There's been some people who won't let me in locally. I've been reaching out to them a couple times, and they'll leave me on red. If he's seeing this, I hope he sees this. I'm not gonna drop names. You know who you are. But my plan is, man, listen, I'm gonna be big enough that like it don't matter. I'm gonna stop asking for you, and eventually I'm gonna be so big that you're asking me to cover you.
Yeah, that's bro. The goal. That's motivating because it's like you're. Again, no, fuck that. You want to shit on me as a little person coming up, bro? Like
I'm not gonna sweat it. Listen, you can turn your back on me, look the other way, whatever. Get in the way. For all I care, get in the way. I'll go if I have to. I'll go to Pennsylvania. If I have to, I'll go to Vermont. If I have to, I'll go to Connecticut. I'll keep going all the way to Maine, and I'll go to fucking California if I have to. But
I think that's an excellent idea. No, for real. Like, cause like.
Well, I mean, that's part of the goal is like to like eventually go coast to coast. I want to hit up Canada, all that stuff too. But
and there's infinite content.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So like I kind of try to do the same thing, and like I'm getting into is like I'll go to weird shit, like weird spots, like what is it, America Stonehenge, do a video. You know what I mean, like shit like that. And just I want to go so many places that's like conspiracy based or alien shit. You know what I mean? It's just so much content, bro. And I think with you going to see Rolling Stoners in Connecticut, or boom, you're in Maine, or boom, you're in Ohio, fucking Florida, you know what I mean, wherever.
Well, and you know what's great too is like if you're watching our YouTube channel is like you get to see kind of places you can travel to. Like I try to focus it on like traveling athletes. But I mean, like hike. I got hikes on there. I got some jujitsu.
All that shit's cool because you're reaching certain viewers. You know, so like you're gonna have the people that go for the hikes, the people that are like tuning in for the jujitsu, like, and then most of those people go hiking anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, so it's cool, man. I really like the lane that you created for yourself. You know,
I mean, it's been a work in progress. It's still growing.
It's not over, bro. What do you mean? It's just getting started.
It's tiring.
Oh, look, dude, I have to tell you, I've had a lot of sleepless nights over this podcast, and I don't make no money. I don't fucking get no ad revenue. I don't get none of that shit. I could obviously do better in areas, but like I really just want to be having our friends, our boys, our people, and then like just have fun with it. You know what I mean? Who cares? If it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If not, then
yeah,
it's still fun as shit. And if any of us pass away, God forbid, you know what I mean? Fucking, we got some recorded memories.
I remember being like that, and now I'm like all like, it's gonna work. It has to.
Oh, listen.
No. I respect it. I mean,
yeah.
I
want it to work.
I wish I was still like that because Kristen hates it. Like I wake up in the morning, 5 a.m, first thing in the morning. I would do my workout, bam, right on the website.
Right.
You know, come home from work, bam, right on the website.
Yeah, but again, that's a certain drive. You know, like that's a certain drive, and there's nothing wrong with that because you're constantly perfecting your craft. It's not. Yeah. You know.
I mean, it gets in the way, man. It gets in the way of family.
Sure, but there'll be time for that on the yacht.
Hopefully.
On the yacht, bro. Come on.
Hey, babe, come back. I got a yacht.
I know, right? Yeah, well, that's the tough part is managing those things because, yeah, of course, you know, you get hungry, man.
It's sacrifice.
Yeah. No, it's cool though, bro. Everybody check out jmurrayathletics.com/the store. Buy something.
Appreciate.
Yeah, man. And the YouTube channel as well, right? Is J Murray Athletics.
It's all J Murray Athletics across the board.
Right.
Instagram,
so X,
Facebook,
fucking everything.
Don't follow me on X. I hate X.
Dude, I can't stand it.
Yeah, like, X is a toxic place.
It's
nasty.
I've never really gotten into it, but I have one for the podcast, and it's like I'm about to give it to Irv so he can fucking manage it.
I just post AI statuses, and I can't go on there because they're too political.
Yeah.
And they're ignorant.
You got to be able to separate it, bro. You got to understand, people.
I have a hard time not commenting.
Yeah, I'm sure because.
And I'm argumentative, so I'd have to disengage entirely, or I will.
Yeah, see, I don't get involved in none of that because, when I look at it, I'm like look at these stupid ants. You know what I mean? It's like, you guys are just, it's crazy, bro.
My last argument almost killed me.
Oh, dude, what happened with that? If you don't want to talk about it publicly, bro, but.
So I won't name who did it. Just, he knows who he is. I mean, it is what it is. I tried filing the police report, but they're a bunch of, we already went over that.
Sure.
So he removed the lug nuts on my car after an argument. On
Facebook.
Yeah, I got autistically technical with a term and said that some lady online wasn't a publisher, and I compared her to my website and said that we are in fact a publisher.
Right.
And he says your website ain't shit, or something along those.
I remember
something along those lines.
Left.
And I was like, and I took offense to that. Like, this is my baby. Like, trust me, I know she ain't shit, but we're working on it. Come on.
Right. Come on, man.
So I dissed his business. I was like, all right, fuck you. You're probably a scam artist. You have all this time to sit here online talking shit to every little person. You know, if you live in Rotterdam, New York, you know who I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, so he's running his mouth, and I said it back. I fired back with the same shots. And he started threatening me, and I pretty much told him straight up. I said, listen, bud. I said, I got screenshots of this conversation. I got the same toys as you.
Right, and this was all public, right?
Yeah.
This was all public.
Yeah, so like, and if you know what I mean by toys, you know, we both have heat. You know, and I said, but here's the one thing that you don't have is I know how to fucking fight. I said, so I'm not scared of you. You're not going to intimidate me. You're not going to do any shit directly to me. Like, that's not bullshit. And I was right. He went and removed the lug nuts from my car and didn't notice. And I went up to cover Elite Fight Promotions in Saratoga, and my wheel was going. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Did he loosen them or did he take them?
Oh, he took them. Because there were two on. He was 2 on there, and there was 3 missing.
What?
Yeah.
Well, see, and that's shit that could cause an accident. Like, that's some real.
Hurt someone else.
That's some real fucking dirtbag shit.
Oh yeah.
Over an argument on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't even an argument. It was he insulted me. I insulted him back. He started threatening me because he couldn't handle being called out for hitting.
How did he know you personally? Just because.
So he actually helped me with the car previously. So he knew what the car looked like.
Stop.
I thought this dude was my friend.
Shut up.
That's why when he insulted my business and I insulted him back, you know, I thought it was just friendly banter.
Right.
And he then started taking it some different way, and he escalated. And I was like, hey, listen, you ain't gonna threaten me, you ain't intimidating me, you ain't gonna do shit, you fatso. Yeah. I told him to go drink another beer and calm down.
Oh no. Well, it's just indicative, bro, of like how this social media shit is like these people get killed over this shit.
Listen, man, I can check something off my list there that no one else can right now, and that's someone tried killing me, and they failed.
An assassination attempt.
He missed on the same day as Trump.
Oh, that was the same day, wasn't it?
The same day.
Wow. Yeah. I can't believe you would do that though.
I take pride in this.
That could turn into such a serious, like a serious collision or crash, or you know what I mean?
This is reckless. And it's petty too. I mean, that's the biggest thing is it's petty.
Super petty.
And like, I'm not like I thought about like I could do something bad. I could run up on him in like Walmart or some shit. Like, you know, I know where he's gonna be. He posts online all the time. So like, I could do some reckless shit, but like at the same time, I'm just kind of enjoying the situation. It's like,
you can't lower yourself to that shit. You know
I pissed you off so much that you felt the need to try and kill me.
Right, you're living in his head.
And you couldn't even do it looking me in the eyes. What a little bitch.
Internet shit, bro. That is incredible though. Like I couldn't imagine taking the time out of my day first to argue with someone online. Second of all, to stop somewhere and be like, oh, you know what? Let me grab my fucking my wrench and you know what I mean? Let me grab the 4-way.
Homie snuck up in the middle of the night and took my lug nuts.
Scumbag. Oh, well, on that note, man, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming through. I got to take my daughter to go see Deadpool tonight. It's going to be fucking, I don't know if you pay attention to any of that shit, but it's going to be fucking dope.
I've been meaning to go see it. Just haven't had the time.
It just came out today.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought it's been out.
Nah, bro, it just came out today. That's why she's fucking pumped to go see it. But in any event, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment.
Absolutely, leave those comments.
Check out fucking Jay Murray Athletics.
Please do.
And then subscribe to his fucking channel.
Please do.
And let's help us grow out here. Peace out.
You guys stay blessed.